Chicky, check out my, now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh, don't make me have to lose it. No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back in my day. Would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be cool.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
All right, now here we go.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On second down, Cook. And Hill running right through it. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. And he's able to find Diggs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A first down throw for Cousins. His throw incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Cousins again. They shakes him off. Flushed out right. And right with it here over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as As soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now it's Carson, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were... licking their chops on 3rd and short, and yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return?
It was a backhand.
Like
a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff. Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Minnesota's football here in just a second, and you think about the season that the Vikings have had, maybe not the kind of year that folks had envisioned for the Vikings. You thought maybe this could be an 11, 12, maybe even a 13-win season if all fell in place, but that has not been the case.
That is so true because we thought with the acquisition of Kirk Cousins, that would take care of everything on offense. The defense, one of the best in the league in 2017. No reason to think that that wouldn't continue, and they've still been one of the top units out there. But if they make the playoffs and they play as they did against Miami in Week 15, especially on offense when they ran the ball for 198 yards, look out, because then the Vikings could be dangerous. Can you imagine if they...
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs from 8 yards out, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Charles, the Seattle Seahawks, they were 8-5 going into a Week 15 game against the 49ers, a team that they had beaten 10 straight times, and then they lose that game surprisingly 26-23, and as they tried to carry momentum toward the playoffs, I was surprised at that outcome.
I was beyond surprised. I thought that game was pretty much a lock because of the momentum Seattle was bringing in, the level of play that they were bringing, and you're taking on a team in San Francisco who's on their 3rd quarterback. Although that young man, Nick Mullins, has acquitted himself quite well. But now, Seattle's got to sweat it out a little bit. The last couple weeks of the season, trying to get one of the 2 remaining wild card spots, they've got Kansas City in a primetime game before they end up in their last game of the season. So look out for Seattle, but at the same time, they've got some work to do.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there.
Doug Baldwin, the 20, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 65 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Vikings making their way out, and let's take this time to talk about the Vikings Club Championship of Madden. It was held in mid-December, and your winner, I.B. Straffen, or is it I.B. Strafen? You've got the pronunciation guide.
I.B. Strafen.
Strafen. My bad, Mr. Strafen. Whichever you prefer, but defeating newcomer Jay Wolfman. He'll represent the Vikings in the league-wide club championship event in early February that has a $700,000 prize pool.
I just want you to know I heard from I.B. Strafen's people. It is not whichever you prefer. It's I.B. Strafen.
I guess I should probably correct it. It might be Jay Wolfman, not Wolfman, like I said.
Hey, receiver. Yellow. Through.
Cousins now on second down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Cousins now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Over the middle, complete. That's Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover.
Let's just do me. Yellow, reach in there, yellow.
Cousins on first down. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jaron Reed busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Okay, some people call it the shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass, but this worked really well. And it's hard to do in the NFL because of the big bodies that tend to clog up the middle of the field. But the execution was excellent there, able to get it done and get upfield for big yardage.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Off the play fake, Cousins. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast. But a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They go read option with Wilson. Ooh, with a juke. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a 1st down again.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
With Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside for a sack, trying to get away but could not.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And they have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw is Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be 2 high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. Nothing available there for him.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings.
running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he stopped immediately there. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Second down, Cousins. He gets away from one. Flushed out right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. And Forbath will put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On first down, Wilson. Boy, stays up, escaping the pressure. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
Gotta go. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Hey! Motion. Bang out. Bam.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. So we got 3 on 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
team.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Flush to his right. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Green 80.
Now Wilson on second down. That's a strong running. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time.
Way.
They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw, Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Cousins to throw it this time. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Final play of the half. It's Wilson being chased out left. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had to halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This is Carson. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46.
Go 14.
Now Wilson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Emerson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. This is caught. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
I do want to take this time to mention that the next few months, very big in the competitive Madden Championship Series. A few weeks ago, we saw Skimbo go back-to-back.
That's right, back-to-back, second straight year.
You're fired up. And then next up, the Madden Challenge, and it's a $190,000 prize pool, and the ladders to qualify for that tournament now available in MUT draft mode. Exciting things. By the way, do you have a gamer tag, Charlie?
No, I do not have a gamer tag. You must be a good player in order to earn a moniker.
First down, here's Cousins. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield. Because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, some news that gave us a chuckle, and we could all use that around the holidays. He was back home in Oakland when the Redskins called to see if he'd like to join him for the remainder of the season. So how did he get to know his new teammates? Well, what did he do? He turned to the Madden game, Charles.
Yeah, and that's how you learn who they are, right? Learn what they do, have some tendencies, get some ideas about their speed and what they do well, and maybe what they don't do so well. And it really... helped him acclimate and got himself a big victory in Week 15 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. How about the bloodline of Josh Johnson, though? Also related to Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
18.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Gotta go. Fair.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go with Murray again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially. No gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Now Cousins. That escapes it, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Wright's got it. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Cousins. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because, you know, the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily, when that happens, the quarterback... as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Carson. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Wilson on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They'll give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march up.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run it with Carson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Now Wilson to throw on 2nd down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. From 3 yards out. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, it's tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A give. This is Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost... feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
On first down, Murray. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Nazaire Jones there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Cousins. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Third and long for Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Everson Griffin in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 19. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got Lockett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Flushed out right. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. A gain of 32 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. J.D. McKissick, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's right. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. But he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Cousins again. And that will be incomplete as well.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Got a man. It's right. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, what a move. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
It's complete to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Here's Cousins. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the side. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Zebra. Rhino. 2.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be taken down. A sack back at the 32. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Wilson wants to throw it. Flush to his right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And now out comes Minnesota. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything,
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Second down, Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Dancing to his left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. To throw is Cousins. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said, here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.